we've come down here today to Stockport Studios just to see a few of the bands, get a bit of footage, get some interviews in, and we've stopped by to talk to Paul, the owner. So we heard that Viaduct Studios obviously closed down, and you've moved here now. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah. It was pretty last minute. It was unexpected. It was a shame after all the years at Viaduct Studios. I had such a good time there. Met a lot of new bands. Saw a lot of success stories come out of that building. It was a shame to see it go. With coronavirus, kind of shut everything down. Everybody kind of hit rock bottom. And then we spoke to Pear. We came together to kind of smash the two studios together. Kind of come up with a joint venture to kind of bring both clientele and everything that both studios are good at, kind of put them together and trying to come out with something more positive, instead of kind of throwing the towel in and just giving bands the option to come and rehearse and record instead of having nothing when the clouds were up. So yeah. It was a really good move. I think it's between Viaduct and Stockport. It was just a very, very quick decision made, and best decision I think I've ever made. It's just it's just been busy, bustling. It's kept bands together, which I thought was going to be. I thought basically setting up another studio would have been counterproductive with no touring, no gigs. But I think these rooms have brought bands together because they need to rehearse and write and feel like they're together as friends, as a group of people. Obviously we socially distance, everything here is sanitised, clean. We've got sanitizer down there, I'll show you around in a minute, and we spray the rooms. We do everything we can to make everybody safe, but if bands want to get in and record and write, then I think it's the least we can kind of offer them to client at the time. I'll show you around if you want.
Are you open to more different types of bands then?
Yeah, anybody, yeah. It's the more the merrier. Bands that have just started, we can kind of nurture them. We've got all the equipment that they can use here. We haven't got a lot of scope for touring until next year, so just have the influx of local bands is really cool. So these rooms have been here for the last 10 years and supplying the local community and South Manchester rehearsal space. So I'll show you these now. We'll just knock on for one of the bands and interrupt their rehearsal. This is the camera crew, they want to say hello. Anyway, cheers for it. So that's one of the rooms. That's how you disturb a band and stop them in the flow. So we have this equipment that we rent out to bands, bass guitars, bass cabs, guitar amps. This is another room. So this is another production room. We supply all kinds of different equipment. And each room has a different feel. So this is a bit of a darker room. Again, it's specific for what you want. So this is one of the 3 or 4 rooms that they've kind of been here since basically the beginning of the time. Yeah. And I'll just take you round to the expansion which we started 2-3 months ago. Snooker table as well. That's just to get in there. So these are the new rooms. These are permanent rooms. We've got Fuzzy Sun, Stockport, taking this room. This will be their place to write and record. Still on, we need to put a bit of paint on and get it all fixed up. We've got the Cashmere boys here, who you know already. And we've got our very own everything room here that we've just finished. We still basically need to get a lick of paint on here and get them set up. And then we're taking downstairs and expanding, so it's a work in progress at the moment. And that, I'll show you the last thing, which a lot of bands might be interested in when it's finished. I don't think there's anything like it in the country, I'm not too sure. But this room, by the new year, will be a fully functional pub and venue. So there'll be kegs of beer, all above board, definitely, So yeah, it's a work in progress, making sure bands can drink and eat well in between rehearsals.
So if you were, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are.
Yeah, we're Cashmere, like a synthy kind of indie rock band from Stockport. I'm Joe, I sing and play guitar. And
I'm Andy and I play the drums.
I'm Freddie and I play bass.
I'm Charlie and I lead guitar.
I'm Rick and I play the keyboards.
Brilliant. And where do you spend most of your time rehearsing then?
Yeah, we literally just moved here. Like we had a band room in Hazel Grove for the past 3 years, and then it was basically like a derelict space, and then over lockdown we moved out of there. We've only been here for
2 weeks-ish, 3 weeks.
No,
about a month. It's not been in there, so
6 months. Yeah.
Have you got any gigs lined up?
We did have a gig lined up, but today, in the new tier system, we haven't got a gig anymore. Classic.
it was in Blackpool. It was like a social distance gig, but we're in tier 3, aren't we? And so are they. So I don't think it's gonna happen. But we're thinking of doing like a live session.
Oh, okay.
Like instead, like just kind of our own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you reckon there's any chance of giving us a couple of tunes today, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be hard to book, but we'll do it.
Let's do it. How long have you all been together then as a band?
Well, Andy and I have been together for like 5 years. Well, no, 6 years. But we've had like loads of different people over the years. But Freddie.
Charlie joined 2016.
Yeah.
Freddie joined the very end of 2017.
And then Rick has been playing synth about.
Yeah.
He's playing that session with us.
Right. Have you been in any other bands?
Yeah, well, Andy and I used to be in like a metal band
Right.
When we were a lot younger.
when we were a lot younger. And I think you've all been in bands, haven't you?
Yeah.
We actually, both of these guys quit their bands to join Kashmere.
Yeah, biggest mistake in life.
Where did it all start?
Just Andy and I, like, we'd been in this metal band for like, I don't know, for like 2 years or something, and then that comes to a close. And then we always liked metal, and we still do like metal now, but we always liked indie and stuff as well. So we thought, why don't we do something like that instead? So we started playing together, didn't we?
Yeah.
So going back to the old C word, COVID. How has it affected you? Have you done much with your time?
Well, we lost.
It fucked us at the start when
Yeah.
it all kicks off in like February, March, because we were meant to go to America and we had it all booked and all planned, and then we were at a gig in Newcastle, and when we came off stage, our sound guy, Deck, said, "Guess what, lads? You're not going to America anymore, it's all been cancelled." And we're like,
Yeah.
fucking
And
bastard.
then like
We lost loads of money.
5 minutes after that, like the label manager rang us up and like nail in the coffin, like fully confirmed it. So yeah, and we'd only booked the flights like 2-3 days before,
Yeah.
so we lost like thousands.
We lost our European, Germany tour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
maybe
that's-
That's happening next year though.
Not all rescheduled then.
Yeah.
yeah. But then it's like rescheduled for early next year. So
No, it's not.
It's
May.
April. It's April, isn't it?
May.
I thought it was December.
I mean, the thing is now though, it's still, even May, we're not 100%,
Yeah, who
confident it's going to
knows?
happen, because
Who
we
knows?
just don't know the restrictions, like travelling abroad, and hopefully, but you just don't know yet.
Yeah, that's why we're putting stuff like this together to try and keep the music industry alive.
Yeah.
yeah,
Try and still get you the exposure you need. Talking of which, where can people find your music?
Just on like all the usual platforms like Spotify and like every major
everywhere.
kind of streaming platform and
Me and
YouTube.
Joe have got a shitload of EPs in our under the stairs cupboard at home.
like,
if
like
anyone-
vinyls and stuff.
Yeah.
So you get you can buy there's physical copies of stuff as well on what's it called on our website.
Lovely. Have you got anything planned for people to keep an eye out for?
Probably that live session.
Yeah.
We can sort that out.
Lovely.
So I've got dates booked for next year, like in April, whether in the UK, whether it happen or not. And we're going back in the studio in January as well, so new music as well.
New music, yeah.
It's always good. Yeah. We are to have a few tunes off you then.
Yeah, by all means.
fantastic set from Cashmere there. Just wanted to mention our sponsors, Black Tear, Spice Rum, and Paul Ryder, who won last week. I hope he's enjoying his bottle at home while he's watching. Cheers for tuning in.
Hello, I'm Dan from Last Race Home. I'm going to do some songs on my own because obvious reasons I'm on my own, but nice one, Sounds of Manchester. Thanks for asking us. See you shortly. This is called To the Passerby. This is called Salford Seabird.
Sat alone on a cold stone, watching you glide close to the water. A daily fascination, the keys of the place that you must call your home. Yet the city seems such a strange old place for your domain. sunlight hurts my eyes. Seabird, we both don't belong. Seabird, both don't belong. Yeah, seabird, if only I had you in. My warm breath joins the vapor trails in the aeroplanes as it drifts up into the cold blue sky as it leaves my body. I wonder why and where the hell I've been going wrong. Where the hell have I been going wrong? Wouldn't life be wonderful if every time we made the right choices? It's pretty picturesque. I can see that you're not crowded and you don't have to care what other people say. Seabird, we both don't belong. Yeah, seabird, both don't belong. Yeah, seabird, if only I had you in.
So it's fucking parky in here. This is called Whiskey and Roses.
Since the revolution closed its doors, I've been hanging there. The listeners were the makers, and we've all done our share. Let's break this superstition. Let's jump ship and swim to shore. I've matured so much since yesterday, not the kid I was before. No tears and no solutions, me and these crying eyes are blind. And only whiskey and roses is my mind. If I said so, if I said so, would you leave your front door? So bear the best in mind when you decide what your future holds. Since the airwaves lost their color and it's not like we were told. The radio sits idle and it was a heartbeat in my home. Now the poets and the troubadours are left singing on their own. No tears wet until dry, to borrow from land, to lover from friend, to need from you, to love from hate, to life from death, from enemy to mate, to easy from harder, mother from father, to brave now from scared. But it's all in your head. It's the rhythm right now. I know I'm on my way. With bakers, with buskers, with children to play, and it's all intertwined. What's yours can be mine. What's mine can be yours. Just leave your front door. And if I said so, if I said so, would you leave your front door? And if I said so, if I said so, would you leave your front door?
This is called My Old Friend.
Let me take a wild stab in the dark. You lost all your friends, taken away all your baggage and left you alone with the band. Let me take a wild shot in the dark. You've been here before. I better go and buy a boat blow. Always said that there's my front door. You were the wide-eyed boy. You never wants to go to sleep. Little wide-eyed girl, throwing kisses at the strangers that she meets. Deluded sorrow, confused dream. You begged and stole and borrowed, but now till you're bursting at the seams.
All right, everyone. Fantastic set there from Den from Last Race Home. Just want to do a quick shout out to Craig, Caroline, Aaron and Sophie are watching at home. They've been telling me all week that they're going to tune in. I'm going to have to dash, though. I've got an interview with Clint. I'll see you in a tick.
Right, guys, who have we got? How are you? Yeah, can you see me and hear me?
I can't see you, I can hear you.
Right, let me just get the video working. Hang on.
No worries.
There you go. You got me now?
Oh, lovely, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you? Are you at home, I assume?
Yeah, I'm just at home with Christmas tree in the background.
I know. Look, we've not even gone near Christmas yet in our house, so
No.
hopefully we'll be sorting ourselves out soon.
No.
Yeah, so how's everything going for you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. How's everything your side?
All right, it's been a bit of a strange one, but like everybody else, just having to adapt as we go along, really.
Yeah.
You know, because you like all my work, most of my work was DJ work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So the radio gig that I've got is only a small proportion of my income, really. It's like 70% of my income is DJ work, and it's all gone. So I've had no choice but to. I'm not sat on shitloads of money. Like I think a lot of people think I'm very wealthy, but I get by. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just taken the opportunity to start getting back onto doing music again and getting my music out there. You know, selling it to my followers via Patreon. Do you know what Patreon is?
No, I've not seen it, no, but we'll...
It's like a crowdfunding sort of idea where your community, your followers will pay, you know, £3 a month, £5 a month, whatever subscription you set up. And for that, you give them early access to brand new music before anybody else in the world.
Oh,
and then you do like interaction, you know, private interaction with them, that community.
yeah.
So I've just launched that 2 weeks ago,
Right.
which it's early days. I'm just building it. I've got to build it up to, I'll need a few hundred people following me before I can make, you know, enough money to replace the DJ work or whatever.
Yeah,
But it's just so satisfying that making new music is a priority again. Because for 20 years, I've been distracted by being a radio presenter and being a club DJ. You know what I mean? And all those things are great and they pay the bills, but it's stopped me being a musician as a main thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's give you the time to do that.
yeah, and it took me 3 months of once somebody told me about Patreon. It was Aziz Ibrahim, you know, the guitarist.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine, and we were on the phone sometime in August. And he mentioned it to me. Then I thought that sounds perfect for somebody like me. It's not just for musicians. It's for, you know, you might be a designer, you might be a guitar instructor. You know what I'm saying? You can do it
right
for any creative industry, really. And you know, if you've got an audience or a potential market, you create the page exactly how you want it to be, and then people, you know, sign up for it. Hopefully, but once he told me about it, it took me 3 months of research and, you know, setting things up and designing the thing, if you like.
Yeah.
But I launched it 2 weeks ago, and it just feels brilliant that now is making new music now is one of my main priorities again, as well as the radio, which I've still got, fortunately, and the DJ work, you know, when it comes back, brilliant. But so to answer your question, the journey's been a bit of everything. It started off in March, very, very scary, because at that point we thought the Excess Manchester was shutting down as well.
Right.
So that was like a 30% of my income, and then the rest of it was the DJ work. So everything went. But by the middle of March, we heard that the radio station was being saved. Sorry, the beginning of April, we heard that the radio station was carrying on, which is great. And then, as I said, I've spent all this extra time that I've had on my hands developing these other things. Like I eventually got around to setting up a merchandise online store. So you can buy Boone Army shirts, and that's something that I used to do. That 20 odd years ago, I used to sell Boone Army, you know, merch and hats and things, and I've got that set up again now. So that's up and running.
Oh, lovely.
And then I started selling my cow art as well. You know, the cow pictures that I do. That
yeah,
I've done for charity for 30 years. I've done them for charity, and now I'm doing them for the family, you know, to make some money. So,
well, yeah.
But yeah, I've come up with like 4 new income streams that. It's incredible. When I think like at the beginning of the year, I didn't know what Shopify was. That's the merchandise thing online.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Etsy was. That's this amazing website where you can sell your art, you know, your creations. And then Patreon is where I'm selling my music. And then I'm doing Disco Rescue, which is a live stream DJ set from home every Friday night.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
been doing that since March every week with my wife, and that's gone through the roof. So I've I've created 4 brand new income streams, which is quite satisfying, really, in such weird times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So instead of like seeing all that DJ work taken away, because you know how lucrative that can be for me, for somebody who does 2 or 3 gigs on night. Like when I last saw you, I think I did 3 gigs that night. And to have all that taken away is like heartbreaking, really, when you're relying on it for your family. And
yeah, exactly.
to come out of it where I am at the moment, I feel brilliant now, and I'm not really worried that the money will come back, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
it will come back.
It's a case of letting things get on top of you with some people, isn't it? And I think using initiative to do things with your time.
Yeah, and it must be hard because not everybody's got the options. That I'm fortunate that I was already in a world where I use a MacBook every day, and I've got a studio at home which I'm sat in now. So I was already in that technological world that's absolutely been a lifesaver for a lot of us. So, and that's given me a lot of positivity, and options to do this and do that. I'm also lucky that, when we have been locked down, if you want to call it that, I'm with my wife and 3 of my kids. So, we've got, our house is a fairly big house. We're not falling over each other and getting on each other's nerves while we're locked down. We're enjoying life in the home, you know what I mean? And
yeah, it's
I've never spent as much time in this house. We've lived here probably 16 years, 15 years or something. And I've never spent so much time in the house because I was always running around doing work to pay for the mortgage. Shall I say? So, but it's just, I love it. And it's, in a lot of ways, it's spoilt me. I'm sort of in, not in a bad way, but damaged to the extent where I love working at home now so much that I don't really want to go out again. And that's scary that I'm saying that, having been that person that was running around every week and making thousands of people dance, like,
Yeah.
It's like
never at home.
Sorry?
You're that person that's never at home, aren't you? So
usually. So I'm loving it. And I know that there'll come a time, I think mentally as well, I do need to embrace that. When the moment comes where I have to start going out to do work again, I will embrace it. And I owe it to the community. I owe it to my fans. I owe it to Manchester and to Stockport that there's a lot of rebuilding to do, as there would be after a war. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rebuilding to do, and it's up to people like me and you to do what we can to get things moving again. And, not just look after number one, but, think about the other, our fellow DJs out there who've not had any work for 8 months. We need to get them back in the DJ booths. And so, so there's a lot of work to do, and you know what? I wish it hadn't happened to the world.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I'm looking at the positives now and thinking, right, well, I benefited from some of this. I benefited from the enforced peace, the enforced time at home, the enforced having to find other income streams. I benefited from all that. So, my journey through it has been all right, really. And I know that I feel bad that a lot of people, even within 200 yards of where I'm sitting, there'll be people that are having, devastating moments, I would have thought, so I'm lucky, very lucky, really.
Yeah, it is a lucky thing. I think it's keeping that positive mindset, though, isn't it? And doing what you can with your time rather than just sitting back and trying to wait for things to happen.
Yeah. I've always been good at that. People take the piss out of how positive I am. My wife particularly, she's always laughing about how positive I am.
You've got
to it's just what I am. It's like, I've had a decent life. I've had a great journey. I've achieved more than I ever thought I was going to achieve, when I was an ambitious teenager or whatever. And I'm thankful for that. So I'm always upbeat about where I am. And I've been on my arse a few times through my adult life, through my career. There's been a few moments that have been, pretty dark times, really. And I've always come out of it in a better position than I went into it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now that's what's happening again. I think when I come out of this, I might not have the income that I had with the DJ work, but up here I'll feel a lot better because I'll be putting new music out again. And so far, the new music I've put out through my Patreon followers has been really well received. People are loving it. So, and it will come out on other platforms, obviously, in the new year. But the Patreon followers are getting it before the rest of the world. That's the idea of it.
Yeah. We'll get a link up on in the description of this so that.
Yeah, that'd be good if you don't mind. Yeah. Yeah, do that. And,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah, you do enough for us, so yeah.
Yeah. So where are you? What's happening with your side of things?
So it's going to be a weekly thing, starting tonight. But we're going to have different bands on, different interviews, and just trying to keep the music industry alive. We've been in contact with loads of different bands. We've got Paul Bowe from the Stockport Studios. I know you.
Yeah, Bowe. Is it not pronounced Bowe?
Yeah.
Paul Bowe. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lovely, isn't he? He's a good mate of mine.
Yeah, so we've got him on. He's going to do a tour of his studio after.
Oh, brilliant!
After this,
has he finished building it then? Because last time I saw it was a building site.
Yeah, he still needs a lick of paint, but he's getting there. Yeah. He's putting a bar in it, but yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Amazing.
It's going to look good.
Yeah.
We've got a few bands on as well, so we've got Cashmere on. A few indie, smaller independent artists. Daz McKenna. Last Race Home. There's a few joining us, and then we're getting people join us every week. So it's going to be a thing. A few different sponsors on it. So we've got a rum company, Black
Rum.
Tears. Yeah, Black Tears Spice Rum. So they're giving away a bottle of rum and a load of little miniatures and.
Don't send me one.
Yeah, we'll get some over to you. Yeah, it's nice stuff.
I'll do the one tweet per bottle.
Yeah. We'll have a word with that.
No, it's fine. It's all. I get a lot of people. I never go asking for shit like that. It's people come to me and say, "Look, I made this T-shirt. We put it on and do a picture." And a lot of time it's charitable, isn't it? But yeah, if I can get free alcohol, it's great. That so yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll have a word for you. Yeah. I just wanted to ask while you're on about new bands. If you any favourites, if you want to plug any bigger bands as well that you think people should listen to.
I think one of my favourite new bands, well, in recent months or years, has been Fontaines DC.
Right. Yeah.
I absolutely. People were talking about them before I'd heard them.
Right.
To the point where somebody came up to me in South Nightclub, probably around sometime towards the end of last year, and said, do you know Fontaines DC? I said, are they from Liverpool? I said, no, they're from Dublin, Ireland. And I said, and at that point, I'd not heard of them. And then I started hearing them on Six Music, I think, is where I first heard them.
Right.
And I'm a massive fan of The Fall. Yeah, I've always loved The Fall.
Yeah.
When I listened to Fontaines, the first album was quite fallish, but the second album, the current one, it's like The Fall, Interpol, Joy Division. It's like some of these most amazing, sophisticated, dark bands of all time. And these young kids from Dublin are already sounding like that.
Yeah.
So their current album, I think, is beautiful. I love that. I'm playing something new on my radio show tonight on XS Manchester, which is a girl that I've never heard of, and it was Danny McNamara of Embrace sent me a message saying, this is my niece, Ella McNamara, and this is a new track that she's trying to get a bit of publicity with, and it's called Monochrome, and it sounds a lot like Disclosure, like it's a girl singer obviously, but when you get a cool dance band like Disclosure and they put a female vocal on it, it sounds like that. So I'm playing that on my show tonight. But she's called Ella, but it's Ellur. That's the name she goes out under. But I'd recommend people check her out. There's only 2 tracks up there that I can see. One's called Alive. That's more like a guitar-y indie tune. But the current one, Monochrome, is absolutely beautiful, and it's like Disclosure, but with a female vocal.
Yeah, we'll get that one.
What else do I like? Yeah, she's on there. Just try and find out what the tags are. But it's Ellur. You can find it dead easy because nobody else is spelling it like that. No. And then locally, I'm still getting sent a lot of stuff from around here. I mean, Cobain Jones has just signed up on it to Modern Sky. Everybody knows about Cobain now.
Yeah.
So he's going to do great. I love what the Lathams are doing. Again, they're not exactly undiscovered anymore, but I think they're just coming out with some amazing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that.
Did you see the video for I See You a Ghost?
I did, yeah. The one at Blackpool Tower.
Oh no, that was the live performance. There's one where they do a video for the song "I See Your Ghost," and it's done against some of it's done against a green screen, but really badly, deliberately.
Ah, right.
And then there's a bit where they get the singer flying in the backyard like a ghost, but you can see he's on a crane. You can see the cables and everything. It's absolutely brilliant, but the song's amazing as well, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I love them.
They're a really talented band, aren't they? Hang on, we've lost you.
Following the lottery winners as well, you know, because I've been. I'm back. You're still recording, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I think what I might have done, I should have probably put you. I've got like several Wi-Fi bands here, but I won't change it now in case I lose you. But yeah, I'm probably not on the best Wi-Fi strand. I've been watching what the lottery winners have been doing as well through the last few months. They're a band that was supported at Excess,
yeah,
you know, in recent times, and I've been in touch with them about the Patreon and other technical sort of stuff. But seeing what they've been doing to keep their fan base engaged is amazing, really. And I think that there'll be a lot of bands around the world doing exactly the same, you know, doing little videos and live stream performances and all that.
Yeah.
But on top of all that, the lottery winners have just put a track out that's like an open letter to creatives. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that. No, I've been keeping on top of the stuff that they're doing as well.
Yeah, you should check it out. I can't remember the exact title, but it's something like an open letter to all creatives or to the creators. And they're putting out as a single. They're going to try and get it to Christmas #1, you know, that
Right.
coveted spot. And I think even Andy Burnham's behind it. He's trying to get people on board. But if you watch it, it's stunning what they've done. The way it's written and got a quirky little video to go with it. But yeah, really beautiful.
They're very talented as well, aren't
they? Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Tom's a top guy as well.
Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? Lovely people. I mean, they really helped me with Patreon, and even at the last minute, when the weekend that I was trying to launch it, there was some technical issue, right. And I was on the phone to like, what do I do? What do I do? Like that. So Kate from the band went into the Patreon for me and got it all sorted out, which is amazing. Yeah, it's good. It's a nice little community in it, Manchester, for music.
Yeah, it is. It's just trying to keep it like open and people watching the new bands as well as the ones that are already established. I think.
Yeah.
I've seen what Blossoms were doing during lockdown. I know obviously now it's all ended what they were doing, but all the isolation videos they were like the first and the best to do it. I think.
Yeah, they did it brilliantly, didn't they?
Yeah, really good. We've released that now, so.
Yeah,
you can buy that on a vinyl.
It's funny, it's like a lot of bands have embraced it and, you know, gone with it. Slow Readers Club included, they're another one. But then there's other artists that have just gone really quiet, and you're thinking they're probably waiting for it to get back to how it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then a lot of them, you know, they'll probably be writing the best work. You know, like Liam Frey of Quartet, I've not heard what he's doing through lockdown. No. But I'm guessing he'll be doing a lot of writing and recording, and a lot of these artists will come out of it the other end with some amazing work, I reckon, you know, for us all to buy into. So it's been an interesting journey, hasn't it, the last 8 months, and we don't know what's going to happen next, but hopefully we are getting to the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Yeah. We deserve it, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the work that people have been putting in, and I know bands behind the scenes, as much as it looks like they're doing nothing, they are sat there recording and writing and doing what they can. But it's hard work because they can't get together, can they, to be able to record and.
No, I bet a lot of them are doing illegally.
Yeah, it does make it difficult though.
When I think about the mindset that I was in at the beginning when I first started in bands back in the 80s. Mid-80s. Yeah. I think the mindset I was in then, that if we were in this current climate, I think we'd be sneaking in through each other's back doors to write songs and all that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
But unfortunately, we've got this technology is amazing, and so a lot of people have just been relying totally on this. I mean,
yeah,
I can't imagine life without my MacBook these days. It's been just a big part of. Well, for the last few years, it's been at the centre of everything I do. You know, my DJ work, my artwork, my radio work, my communicating with people, my accounts, everything is on my MacBook. And the last 8 months, it's been my best mate, you know what I mean, in every way, because it's helped keep the money coming in, it's helped me communicate with people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think...
I can't imagine life without it.
It's the same with us, like, putting this together, like without the MacBook, it's literally like all the editing's done on it, all the recording for the like lads that we're getting down to record, it's all through a rap book, and people don't realise how important it can be to your life, do they?
Yeah, it is. It's just one of the most amazing tools of all time, I think. But on top of that as well, the other great thing you've got is all these apps that cost nothing.
Yeah.
Like Zoom, like this now. It's like, I know there's a free version, there's an 11 quid a month version, but I assume this is the free version, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And to be able to talk in real time, in colour,
exactly,
and see, and it's getting recorded, you know, it records, and when we finish, it drops straight into your hard drive. It's like, and it's free.
Yeah.
And it's like that you multiply that by probably 20 or 30 other apps that I'm relying on at the moment, like my Patreon and my Etsy and my Shopify and my Printify and one called Headliner, and all these apps are just, they don't cost anything.
No, they do a lot for you, don't they? It's
yeah.
I can't imagine life at the moment without being able to speak over the internet.
It would have been if this pandemic had come along 25 years ago, it would have been a completely different story in every way. Like culture, it would have just destroyed us, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's just hard to imagine, isn't it? So just thank God it happened now at this moment in time rather than any time in the past, because the technology's helped us through, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think you start to realise as well how much there actually is to do around the house. Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah, I found that. I think at the beginning of the lockdown in March, I found myself with a lot of hours in the day where I was able to go and do DIY. You know, jobs that I've been wanting to for ages, like a bit of decorating here and sort the barbecue out, mend it, get them out barbecue. All these things I could never do. But as it's gone further and further on now, and as I've got busier and busier with my other activities and my other income streams and, if you like, career things, the DIY has gone out the window again. You know what I mean? So I'm now thinking, like, my wife's talking today about getting the woodwork glossed in the stairs and the hall. I'm thinking, I've not got time to do that now because I'm so busy doing what I'm doing. Like even today, Saturday, now all day tomorrow, I'm doing my cow art, I'm doing my music, I'm doing, you know, radio related stuff, and it's thankfully my career's keeping me busy, even while we're locked down. But yeah, we'll just have to get something to do with decorating and that.
Yeah, it all takes a lot of planning, doesn't it? All your all your radio work and everything. People don't realise the time that goes into that behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's been nice. I mean, that's been a great thing. The fact that XS was due to shut down, and I'd given up on it because we got told before last Christmas, just before Christmas, we got told at the end of March, it's becoming a urban music station, so we won't need any of you presenters anymore. And that was the idea. It was going to change to a capital station, capital extra, playing, you know, hip hop, crime, urban music. So that was a shock at the time, and I was sad, obviously, because I know that Manchester has got a great radio station with XS.
Yeah.
And then what I did, because I knew that was, like, you know, a big part of my income, I got straight on the phone to me. It was like 2 or 3 agents to get me DJ work. So first thing in the new year, I'm like, I need more DJ work. I need as much DJ work as you can get me, because the radio station's shutting down. So that was due to shut down at the end of March. And then we went into lockdown, all the DJ work went, and you're talking a lot of actual bookings. These are actual bookings that were in my diary, and South Nightclub, obviously, every Saturday night, everything went. So to think I went into the lockdown with zero income for the Boone family, that was what we're looking at, because my wife, we homeschool our kids, we've been doing that for like 7 or 8 years. So my wife doesn't really work, you know, she's like, looks after, keeps the family going and the education going. So to get told in the middle of April that Ofcom had told the owners of XS that you can't change the format, was like incredible. And it was incredible because that never happens. I've never heard of Ofcom refusing a radio station's requests like that. They usually just go with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, you know, it's meant that I've still got a radio gig that's, you know, quite high profile. It's not massive money, but it's nice, you know, locally. It keeps me talking to the people. Through the lockdown, the amount of people that I've interviewed for the radio or for the podcast that goes with the radio station in this room, in my house, I've interviewed Paul Weller, James Dean Bradfield, Gary Lightbody, Vernon Kay, Maxine Peake, all these household names
Yeah.
I've been able to do high quality interviews with them over Zoom, sat in this chair in this room in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With like scruffy tracky bottoms on or whatever. It's like, instead of having to go, like normally to interview Weller, I would have had to go meet him at a gig or go to London or whatever. And Vernon, Vernon Kay's based in London, but I got to sit here and do all these really high profile interviews, which have been brilliant, really.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably
so that's, you know, if I'd have lost the radio, sorry?
He's probably opened up more doors, hasn't it? Like more people you can get in touch with.
And I've done a lot of these sort of chats with people like yourself as well, where, you know, in the normal world, this would have been a lot harder to get together. For me to find a 2 hour slot in my diary where I could drive into town to meet you to do this wherever, in a pub or whatever. But now it's just like, you know, if people want to chat, I can just say, yeah, let's do it such a time on Zoom.
Yeah.
And it's just great times to be alive, I think.
Yeah, I think it definitely. Yeah. He's keeping that positive mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And I think as creatives, I think some of us, like, I'm making a real point. The new music I'm writing, I'm not going to write about lockdown, isolation, loneliness. I've done all that in the past. I've written some of the saddest songs of all time in my past. I'm writing celebratory songs. You know what I mean? Like the first two that I've written are, you know, really upbeat, love, positivity, optimism, and I want it to be full of that. Really, this music, because I know a lot of people will be writing songs about being locked down now and that, and I want to be the man that'll make people feel a bit better when they start hearing the new music. So yeah, I'm keeping it positive for now.
Keeping it the way it's always been. You always make people positive, don't you?
I try. Well, I think I don't even try. I think it's just, I think people subscribe to what I do as a DJ, a radio presenter, a musician, whatever, because they can see I'm passionate about it and I'm enjoying it, and I think that's what people thrive on. You know, that's what gives people a bit of a buzz, really, when they see a DJ going for it in the DJ booth. Yeah, they think, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's funny when I mentioned earlier about some parts of my career where I've been on my arse, and then in 1995 when the Spirals took a break, because we split up for like 9 years, and it was an amicable break. We just didn't have a record deal at the beginning of 95. We decided to sack it off, and I spent a couple of years then on my arse financially and up here to some extent, and all the songs that I wrote in that period were songs about, and I didn't even realise I was doing it at the time, but the songs about being positive, don't worry, get back on it, light the end of the tunnel. And when I look back at that period, it's like so obvious that there's like a chunk of songs there that were, you can't keep a good man down, climbing back inside the dream, life in transition, the cool people know who the cool people are. That was an actual title. And it's all these songs about, even though I'm on my arse and I've not got a pot to piss in, as they say, I was writing these songs about self-belief. I know where I'm going. I know where I am now, but I know where I'm going to go back to. And I did it. I got back on there, and I think I think I'm more likely to, if I'm in a position where I'm on my ass, I'm more likely to write some songs and, you know, sit here licking my wounds and moaning and, you know, complaining on Twitter about whatever. I'm keeping it as positive as I can, because negativity can kill you as well. You know what I mean?
It really can.
Yeah. If you, I've seen people who are full of negativity and, you know, pessimism, and it kills them. You wake up with big lumps on the side of your neck and all sorts. So you don't actually. You know what I mean? Though it's like it feels good to be happy, and it feels good to make other people happy, and yeah, I think that's it's a big part of it, what I am, that positivity, you know.
No, it shows as well. You can see it in your DJ sets, in your work that you do on the radio, everything. You can tell that you're always keeping quite a positive mind.
Yeah, I think it's being grateful and appreciating that all the things I dreamed about when I was a teenager, i.e. being a pop star or a professional musician, doing that rather than having to go and work, you know, in a job that I hated.
Yeah, exactly.
And for 30 odd years, when did I start? Since 1986, I've been a musician, and I've worked with music and made money out of music, and never really had to go and get a proper job, which is, I'm grateful for that. Every day when I wake up and every time I step into a DJ booth or put the mic up on the radio show, I'm grateful that that's what I'm able to do. for my work in my career, because I know how so many people would like to be on this side of the microphone. You know what I mean? They might radio listeners. If I resign from my job on XS tomorrow, there'd probably be 10,000 people would go for that job. You know, as a radio presenter doing drive time in the most important music city in the world, on a station that celebrates great music, it's like what a dream job, you know, in so many ways. And I appreciate that. So it's like, how can I not wake up with a bit of a smile on my face? I do wake up some days grumpy because, you know, something's happened that pissed me off. Whatever. But generally, it's like, I'm a lucky bastard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's meeting all them people as well. It's people's dream, isn't it, to meet some of the people that you've met?
Yeah, and to become friends with some of them as well. It's like,
yeah,
because I'm still a big music fan. Obviously, I'm obsessive about music, and I'm still in awe of certain people. And you know, I mean, Paul Weller. I've interviewed Weller more than anybody else in my radio career. You know what I mean? He is literally the one that I've interviewed him more times than any other artist or musician since 2004. So we've become friends and we're in touch. And it's like there's part of me that, even though that is, you know, it's a contemporary, like it's a fellow musician, but there's part of me saying, that's Paul Weller, that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I'm like that with a lot of my friends, and even people that are, you know, younger musicians who are, you know, not exactly household names yet, but I'm just can't believe that I'm in touch with such amazing people and such amazing bands.
Yeah.
That, you know, those bands that are changing people's lives, like the Blossoms, who are friends of mine, the effect they're having on their fan base and, you know, the nation's music lovers in general. That's what bands like, you know, but when I was in the punk days, it's like bands like the Sex Pistols and the Buzzcocks. I can remember how they made me feel. And that's exactly what Blossoms are doing now, and Catfish, and, you know, the Lottery Winners and Slow Readers Club. They're all, I've never really lost that appreciation of what, you know, the effect that a band's music and a band's existence can have on your life as a, not even as a young person. It's not even as a young thing. I'm 61 and still buzzing my tits off about Fontaine's DC. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but I don't think you'll lose that, will you?
I think it would have gone by now. If it was going to leave me, it would have gone.
Yeah.
It would, I think so, yeah. But it's there more than ever. I mean, I'm looking at part of my record collection now, thinking, it excites me in a way that nothing else does. Football doesn't excite me. But it doesn't interest me. I don't follow a team, but I love watching good football. You know what I mean? I can sit all day watching, when people put little tweets out about, you know, great goals or whatever, or Ronaldo's best bits, or Messi, or I can watch that and I can appreciate beautiful football, but I cannot be arsed supporting a team because A, I haven't got time, B, there's a lot of negativity with it when you lose. They're all shouting and swearing and all that bollocks. So music just never lets me down. It never lets me down.
Yeah.
And even if your favourite band put a record out that's a bit duff, it don't matter. You've still got thousands of other great bands or records that are going to make you feel happy. And yeah, I can't imagine life without music, me.
No, definitely not. I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah. No,
So good. So who've you got on tonight? Kashmere, are they doing a live performance for you?
They are, yeah. They've got an interview and then a live performance.
Right. Where are they doing the gig? Where are they doing the performance at?
In Stockport Studios.
In Paul Bowe's place?
Yeah.
So are they rehearsing there?
Yeah, they're rehearsing there. And then they've got Everything.
Yeah.
One of the rooms, and Fuzzy Sun.
Yeah, they're in there as well. I shall have a walk down because it's literally a walk. I can be there in 3 minutes from my house to his place. So I should go and visit him. But we are in touch, and I think we'll be doing a lot of work together over the years, me and Paul. He's invited me onto that MAS thing. Do you know Master Records? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I have heard about that, yeah.
So I'm now a patron of that. I think it's a patron, is that what they call it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Ambassador or something. So yeah, we'll be doing work together on that. And then he's a guitarist and he's just down the road, plays guitar. So if I need any guitar, I'll be calling him up probably saying, come and scrum on this. Because I can't play guitar.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, it's all it's all exciting times, you know, for
Yeah, definitely.
people like me. But we'll do all right, you know, we'll get through it. And fortunately, we've got like I keep using that word community. There's a community of people out there that'll always support what I do and what you are doing. It's like we're lucky that those people will be gagging for it when we get back to doing what we do best. There'll be some of the best parties ever, won't there? You know what I mean? At some of these gigs you're putting on.
We'll have to throw a big one, won't we?
I think a lot of people will be doing that. You know what'll happen? We'll probably all be burnt out within 2 weeks of everything getting back to normal. We'll all be bloody old men, won't we? Like,
yeah.
Knackered. Because that's it. And you know, it's tragic, the amount of people that have died that have not been able to have a good send-off. Do you know what I'm saying? I've lost four fairly close people through this, and I've not been able to go to those funerals.
No.
And for each one, we've said, right, don't worry, we'll have a big, massive party. We'll have a big, massive party when things settle down. So there's going to be a lot of that. I think a lot of people celebrating people that have lost, as well as celebrating getting back in the, you know, on the dance floor, on the stage, in the theatres, wherever it might be. We'll be celebrating good things and some tragic things at the same time. So bring it on. We'll get there eventually, and the party will recommence.
Yeah, it will, definitely. Fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping just after Christmas, but might be being a bit optimistic there.
Yeah. Where are we now? November. Yeah, I think that's it. Some things will start. You know, it's great that you are doing something like this, because even though it's not us lot stood in a field or a venue doing gigs, it's like it's capturing the spirit of it. It's keeping us in the right mindset of that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an event last night that I was part of that was a Ronald McDonald House charity do a big fundraising ball in Manchester every year.
Right.
And we usually do it like in the cricket ground or in one of the big hotels, whatever. And last night, for the first time ever, they did it online.
Yeah.
Right. So they had Rowetta did a performance. I did a DJ set. They had various other singer-songwriters and people taking part in it. An online event. They raised £200,000.
Bloody hell.
So I'm saying that because that's a sign that that's probably what they'd raise anyway if we were all in a room partying and people putting money in the buckets over. But it's like people have adapted to such a massive extent over these months.
Yeah.
That you are able to put together this, which captures a big part of the spirit of what you're all about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing my DJ sets on Friday night, which is what, you know, instead of DJing in a club, I'm sat here DJing, and people are still loving it and sending requests on Twitter and all that, and we're doing shout outs. Meanwhile, you know, we've all adapted in such a way that's to be applauded, I think. But for a charity like that to do that last night, I couldn't. But when I got up this morning and saw how much they'd raised, I just thought that is people totally embracing what's going on.
Yeah.
Still engaging with their audience, still engaging with the people that, you know, put the money in the pocket, put down in the pocket and get the money out. 200 grand for an online event in the middle of a lockdown.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, that's we're a lot of us are adapting and cracking on with it. So
yeah, it says a lot about what we've been able to do, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it says a lot about people's ingenuity as well, and
yeah, definitely.
Persistence and our ability to adapt as a creature is another thing that's come out of it. So yeah, I'm happy. But what I've got to do now, I've got to go and draw a load of cow pictures and colour them in. I've been doing, you know, my cow art. Have you seen my cow pictures?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Let's have a look.
I'm doing you know, they're doing a fundraiser for 42nd Street.
Yeah.
So this is a cow canvas that they're going to be.
Oh wow!
Right, so I think they're going to auction it or raffle it or whatever. But I've been doing loads of these. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
And people are ordering them on my website, so you know, it's bringing a bit of extra money in. It's like replaces some of that lost income, but it's a nice way to spend an afternoon drawing a funky cow with a spliff in its mouth and colouring it in. For money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
No, I'll let you get on and do your cow pictures then. I appreciate
it.
Right.
I'll send you the links that if you can give it any publicity to my Patreon, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to see your happy face again.
Oh no, you too.
And yeah, keep up the great work, yeah?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you too.
All right, brother.
I'll catch you soon then. Thank you.
Yeah. See you soon, Matt. See you later, brother.
Cheers. Bye.
Right.
Hello, can you tell us a bit about you, who you are, where you're from?
Hi, yes, we're Laid, James Tribute Band. We're from Lancashire, different parts, different towns around Lancashire. My name's Mike, and this is Jeff.
So, have you been up to much during lockdown?
I baked bread. Did you bake bread? Twice. What did you do?
I haven't done much during lockdown, actually, just practicing, recording myself more and stuff like that, and just trying to put content out there but not having any content to put out. It's been a bit tricky, but that's about it, really.
It's hard work, isn't it? So have you got any other side projects on, or is it just Laid itself?
No, just Laid. Yeah, it takes up a lot of the time, to be quite honest. All working different jobs full time, so it eats into your home life and so on, evenings, weekends and such like. Even without the gigs this year, we've still been getting into practice at least on a weekly basis, learning new songs, keeping up to speed with the old ones as well, just to be gig ready, because obviously there's been a lot of gigs that have been booked that have been pulled at the last minute, so that's been the hardest part of it, the fact that we've been, the goalposts keep changing. Every month you think, at least we've got this one coming up, and then the rules change and no, actually haven't, and they get pulled sometimes days in advance, but at least we're ready for whenever, if ever it happens again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Have you got much planned for after lockdown? Then is there anything in the pipeline?
We got quite a few lined up. We've got actually a lot lined up because we'd already booked quite a few gigs for next year, and now pretty much all the gigs from this year have to be moved back till next year as well. So we've got a lot lined up. The only one we managed to get kind of done was, I'm just going to quick shout out to the Snig and Pete at the Snig. Brilliant place in Widnes, just by the Mersey Bridge. Outdoor venue, outdoor stage, and that was superb. And because it was outdoor, that's the only one we managed to get done. But pretty much every other gig we've had just been cancelled, postponed, moved back. So we got, looks like, a really busy 2021 if we can get going.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Where can people look out for your gigs? See what you've got coming up.
Mainly social media, really, Facebook and Twitter. We occasionally put something on Instagram, one for the kids. But yeah, Facebook and Twitter mostly.
Yeah, have you got much that we can look out for then, that you've got tickets available for?
I don't know if there's anything on sale at the moment. There's a few that have been sold out for a while that just keep getting put back. Like Jeff mentioned, we've got a lot planned for next year, but it's really seeing what happens with the whole COVID situation as to when tickets go on sale, when marketing starts, and so on. So it's really just stay put, keep posted, If you're watching us on Facebook and Twitter, we'll always be putting things on. You'll be the first to know about any new dates or any change or anything. But there's always some James content being put on there as well. So
yeah, of course,
keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. If we is there any chance of us hearing a few songs today then?
I don't get dressed up like this for no reason.
Yeah.
These pants have needed an airing. So
it's looking pleasing then, at least.
Swing.
Yeah,
so
I
yes,
think
definitely.
I think we'll crack to it then and see a few songs, if that's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you very much for the new Continental, and especially James for doing the sound today. Thanks very much for doing this. Cheers.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
To sleep, a song from the darkest hour, secrets I can't keep inside of the day. I swing from high to deep, extremes of sweet and sour. I hope that God exists Drawn by the undertow, my life is out of control. I believe this wave will bear my weight, so let it flow. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy. I'm relieved to hear that you've been to some far out places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. But now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy. Those who fear the breath of sadness, sit down next to me. Those who find they're touched by madness, sit down next to me. Those who find themselves ridiculous, sit down next to me. In love and fear and hate and tears, in love and fear and hate and tears, in love, fear and hate and tears, in love and fear and hate. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, put brown outlines on a butterfly's wing. All this frustration gave the leopard spots and taught the birds to sing. Born of frustration, born of frustration. When no one's who they need to be, when nothing seems that real to me. About time we built our lives upon the walls of stone, no solid ground. The world is spinning endlessly, thinking to our own belief. We're born of frustration, born of frustration.
We've been laid.
I've enjoyed my night and I hope you have too. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed putting this together for you all. I'm glad that you've all been tuning in. But there's one person that you've not met yet, and that's Dan, the man behind the camera, filming all this for you. So before we roll these credits and you see all the boring stuff, I'll let him say a few words.
So, as Matt mentioned, my name's Dan. I'm the man behind the camera and have been the whole way through this thing. I'd just like to say thank you for watching and for everyone for tuning in to this week's episode. It's been wonderful. I thought I'd stick my head in because you don't normally see me behind the camera. You've seen Matt once or twice in some of the interviews, but I'm always the one that's behind the scenes. So, hello from me. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you on next week's episode. And yeah, bye from me and bye from Matt.